Okay, we are live already.
Okay. Praise and thanks be to God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth. We thank Him for the gift of life. Wow, it's such a joyous and wonderful thing for me to be alive today. I'm grateful. Good evening, Abuja. My name is Bolanley. Welcoming you live to the show Unbroken with Bolanley. Unbroken is a human rights radio show dedicated to fight against gender-based violence, child abuse, human trafficking, and also to create awareness on consumers' rights and consumers' protection. This evening, I have two wonderful guests right here with me in the studio, and we're going to be talking on topics that affect our lives. We're going to be discussing around gender-based violence. And tonight, we're going to touch different areas and then see how we can help somebody this evening. This show enjoys collaboration with NAPTIP, Force Gender Unit of the Nigerian Police Force, FCCPC, and also Education as a Vaccine. And tonight, let's start with situation report on our last episode. For as many people that tried to call during the show last week, we we had a representative from Federal Competition and Consumer Protection, and she did a lot of work to educate us right here on this platform. And many people try to call in, people with issues, and you want us to help you get to the root of the matter and get you money back or value for money, as the case may be. So if you still have cases you would like to report and have resolved, please, the number to call is for electricity issues, on electricity issues only. Please take this number down: 0811 9877 785. I take that again, for electricity problems only. If you have issues with electricity, billing, whatsoever issues around electricity, the number to call to speak to representative of Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Agency is 0811 9877 785. And to complain on any other thing, general complaint line, the number to call is 0805 600 3030. I call that again: 0805 600 3030. And the second number to report on any other issue to is 0805 6002 020. Or you can reach them on any of their social media platform at FCCPC, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just log on there and then somebody will attend to you. So call them and then have your matter reported and then sorted out. Please, you can reach out to us too if you want us to help you follow up on the matter, and the number to send a WhatsApp message to for our own follow-up to ensure that your matter goes through. But I'm sure the numbers you call will surely do justice to your request. But you can still call us on 0818 727 4284. So let's take one commercial and then I will introduce my guest while we go proper into today's episode.
Pest control services, fire disinfecting services, fumigation, decontamination, sanitizing, extermination, and general cleaning services. We use hospital-grade chemicals with electric and electrostatic tools to help you create a safer environment for your customers.
Leave that place. Quickly take this call.
Commercial fumigation services are used
Thank you.
in homes, hospitals,
Discharge the person quickly if he doesn't have anything to do with it.
facilities, warehouses, offices, firms, schools, clubhouses, restaurants, and bars.
So I'm bringing you in now.
Professional disinfection and pest control services are ideal for high traffic businesses. It is ideal for us all to keep safe.
Please, I'm going back on it. Bring that phone and stop it. Hello.
And hotels against coronavirus and other pathogens.
You are time bound. If you're not hearing.
0907 193
If it's the ones, you treat it this way.
And pest control services. We are friendly with pests and virus.
Thanks for staying with us. In case you're just joining us, the show is Unbroken. Unbroken is a human rights radio show dedicated to fight against gender-based violence, child abuse, human trafficking, and also create awareness on consumers' rights and consumers' protection. And to stream us live on Facebook right about now, please like us at Brixton Balls TV. Brixton Balls is spelled this way: BRIXTONBOLLS and our show enjoys smooth collaboration with National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, First Gender Unit of the Nigerian Police Force, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, and also, of course, Education as a Vaccine. And I have two beautiful people right here in the studio with me from Education as a Vaccine. And to my right is Fabi Faithful, the program assistant, and also to my left is Danladi, the program officer. Good evening, guys. It's so good to have you right here with us on the episode.
Good evening.
You're welcome. Danladi, today is the first time with me on the show, and Faithful the second time.
Yeah. So nice to be back.
So good to have you guys. Thank you for being on set with me tonight. Gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is not limited to rape only. It's not limited to physical abuse or disinheriting someone because of her gender or what have you. You can also abuse people emotionally. People can be abused due to economic factor or whatsoever. We can put all that on. So tonight, with me, I'm going to be discussing today's topic with Danladi and Faithful on gender-based violence. So we're going to, I'm going to be asking you, your organization have been working with communities in the federal capitals and also outside the federal capital. And then I want to know, how does education as a vaccine strengthens the capacity of communities to be able to respond to gender-based violence and harmful traditional practices that perpetuate violence against persons, women, girls, and how have you been doing this? Faithful, I'd like to start with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
So, I want to start from the realization of what gender-based violence is, because from my experience, I noticed that when we go to communities, sometimes people do not even know that what is being done to them is wrong. However, they're not happy that those things are done to them, but they've sort of accepted it because of culture and social norms. So the first stage is always where we make them understand that you actually have a right to your body. You actually have a right to peace at home, and you're not supposed to be beaten. It's not like nobody's entitled to beat. Nobody's supposed to beat you. There are some cultures that promote women being beaten as a way of discipline. So bringing them to the realization that this thing is actually not good. That's actually like the eye opener, especially for female genital mutilation. We have to come to. It took me time to actually come to terms with the fact that these parents are doing this to their daughters are doing it from a place of care and concern.
As a matter of fact,
they actually mean well for their children, and that's why they are doing this thing. It's wrong. But if you, at the point where you now tell them that, okay, these are the negative impacts that these things can bring, you would need to see the way they will be so sad because they are unaware. So one thing that education as a vaccine brings to the table every time at the beginning is education, making people aware, explaining to them the right, giving them right information and accurate information, what's supposed to be and what shouldn't be.
Thank you so much. Danladi.
Yeah, so in addition, what we do is that we understand that it's two things. One thing is for the people in the community to know their right, and through education and awareness. Then once they know their right, they'll be able to understand once their right is being violated. Then the next thing is that how do the community respond when such cases or such issues arises from the community. So what we do is that we try to understand what is the community structure. Are there existing structure that responds to this kind of issues? And then most of these communities, they don't have any structure that responds to this kind of issues. What they do is that they settle the issue in a communal way, whereby they will say it's the act of God, it's the will of God, that they should just take it, and when they get to heaven, they will get the right adequate punishment. So what we do is that we now liaise with the community leaders and then create a community response system from the community level. Okay. So after creating the community response system, we now train them. Then after training them, giving them like intensive training about gender-based violence, about harmful traditional practices, then they begin to understand that there are a lot of practices, a lot of cultural practices in the community that is abusing women, a lot of practices that is not good. And then from there, what they do is that we now support them to go back to the community and carry out sensitization and awareness. The community understand when their people talk to them about some of these cultures. If you're an outsider and going to a community and talking to them, like one of the harmful practices that is happening, that when a woman gives birth in one of the communities in Abuja, that the husband will not sleep in the house for a period of 3 months. The husband will not eat her food for the period of 3 months. The husband will not touch anything that she touch till after 3 months.
Wow.
So this kind of thing, when people like from the community now try to, educate them, try to enlighten them, they understand these are harmful practices. And most of these practices, they are affecting women and girls. Most of these practices are affecting women and girls. So after they now create awareness, they carry out sensitization in the community, then community now begin to understand that some of these things are bad, issues of wife inheritance, that maybe if a husband dies, his brother automatically
will inherit
the wife, like property, this kind of thing. So when they now understand, the next thing is that people will begin to report such cases to them, and they are from the community. They work with the community and the community leaders at the community level. So after that, we now try to bring them close to the government, because most of these communities, they don't have access to like the area council in the FCT and in the state, to their local government, most especially the social welfare that are the one in charge of handling these kind of cases in the community. So we now try to bring them close to the government. If there are issues that it has to do with criminal cases like rape, they will be able to channel it to the right authority at the local government level. Then from the local government level, when it's more than their capacity, they now channel it to the state government level. So we now try to create that linkages. After building the capacity of the response system at the community level, we link them to the local government, from local government to the state, and it goes up to where they will get support.
Thank you, Danladi. While you were talking, you said something about when you go to these communities in creating awareness, usually set up community response system. Yeah. What are the things you put in place to form this system?
Yeah, so what we do is that we now collaborate with the traditional leaders. Their first contact when you go to the community, you now go to the community chief. Then from there, we now try to get people that have passion, people that are maybe supporting in one way or the other. From the religious angle, we get religious leaders. From the women angle, we get the women leaders. From the youth angle, we get the youth leaders. And then other influencers in the community, other people in the community that people listen to, that they are people of integrity, people that when they talk, people listen and people understand. So now we now try to get those kind of people and now train them and build their capacity so that they will be able to continue doing those kind of work.
Okay, Faithful. When you go to these communities creating awareness, because much more than coming on air to shout, talk about gender-based violence and all of that, it's also good that we take the news or the campaign to the people in this category, communities, take the campaign to them. So I want to know, when you go to these communities, how much of support do you get from this community leadership and all of that, because of tradition and religious settings? That's what I'm asking, because some things, based on what Danladi said, because of the traditional structure, the structure that is in place, people may have, because you are a woman, you're subject to this, you have to do this. So when you go with this, your empowerment program to these communities, do you meet any resistance? Do you get full support from these communities in creating this awareness?
Okay, so it depends on the community. Communities are not the same.
True.
However, one thing that I've come to learn is that by the time you go to a community, you actually have to show respect to these leaders. No matter how archaic or absurd their mindset is compared to yours, they are still the one that holds the power, and they are the one people would listen to. So coming to them with the mind that you're actually here to help them, not to castigate them or make them feel like they are actually not trying their best. Because it needs to remain at the back of your mind that they're actually doing what is best in their mind.
Their best.
So, but another way that we actually, after we've gotten the support from traditional leaders, in the sense that we've shown them that, okay, we are here for you, we're here to make your community better, then we go to the community people and then we start talking to them. They start hearing their views. Sometimes we hold meetings for women separately to hear what the women have to say, and then you hold meetings for men separately, and then you bring both of them together to have that conversation. And there was one of the meetings where the women were saying that this thing was only for procreation, and after they've given birth, they are done. It's only for them to excrete. They're not going to be using it to do any other thing. And then the men said, if that's the case, their pocket is also for them.
Some interesting
And we're like,
things.
okay. You understand? And these are things that women will not want to say to their husbands at home, because they might collect slap. And then men too might not want to say it, and they'll be like, they would better carry their money to somebody who is ready to give them what they need.
Wow.
And that kind of need would now be channeled to traditional leaders. See what is going on in the homes of your people. Some of them, they might not even know. Some of these chiefs, some of these palace heads, they don't know. And then when you are able to help them to see things that they cannot see, they are interested. They want to know, okay, what's the way forward? Like, before, I used to think that people that are living in the rural area, they don't used to, they are illiterate, maybe because they don't have the same type of educational capacity that we have. But the same blood that runs through my veins follows, and there are people who have labored and are still laboring to send their children to school and try the best that they can for their children. Having that at the back of your mind when you go to communities, and you realize that they are actually doing their best, no matter how bad, no matter how wrong it is, that is the mindset. And when you go there with that kind of mindset, you are able to help them to get better. And in one of the communities, by the time we were closing out, they were saying that, okay, we actually started having meetings with women every month. Please, can you people be coming to at least talk to our women? Because they were really impacted by the things that they heard, and then they want to hear more.
Wow, thank you so much, Faithful. I'd like to ask, from your experience in dealing with people in rural areas, how do they treat issue of rape on minor, incest, and domestic violence, especially rape?
You see, when you're talking about rape,
I saw the way you were giving me expression here.
You see, when we're talking about rape, it's a different frequency when it's a minor. Because it's not different for people that want to help out, but from where it's from, the people that are the ones that have the children, it's a different ball game. If you see a teenager who is being raped, they will find an excuse. They will tell you is either she's not well dressed, what's she doing there, and all those things. Although they are wrong, but they will find an excuse to blame the girl. But in cases of minor, they cannot blame the girl. And so, even if you are looking at the victim, most times the parents are psychologically impacted. They are down because they are the ones at fault. That's what the culture. Yes, we say it's because a 2-year-old child, they'll be asking you, where were you? When if it's a 16-year-old child, they'll ask the girl, where was she? Not where's her mother. But when it is a 2-year-old,
what were you wearing?
Yes, once a 2-year-old, they will face the mother and say, where were you when this kind of thing happened to the child? So the parental stigma that comes with rape of minor is what even makes it easy for them to not want to proceed. They don't want to talk about it. They feel like they can still cover it up, and the girl might not even know. So maybe she's about to have her first sex, and then she would realize that okay, maybe the hymen isn't there, which isn't even there for most people. For some people, also, so they still feel like they can cover it up. But for someone who isn't a minor, you now have issues of she might get pregnant, she might get all this, and then you're now in between having to take her to the hospital, and then the people who are going to attend to you in the hospital are your neighbors.
What a Pascal.
So these are actually the issues, and that's why mindset is the way to go. If you can change, and then everybody would now realize that you see this rape issue, reporting mechanisms is everybody's business.
True.
Like if as I'm in the hospital and they bring somebody, let my mind be boiling. Like it was my daughter that was written like her. See, and after all the things you've been doing, start blaming people. And the only cause of rape is the rapist.
True.
Because there is no explanation to why they are raping people in Kano that they are fully dressed.
True.
So the only cause of rape is the rapist. And until every person can accept that and be able to look out and be able to look out for ourselves, especially in the rural communities, then that's when we'll move forward. There was a case in one of the communities in Abuja here. It's not village. Here in Abuja.
In Abuja here?
In this our Abuja.
Wonderful.
Where they told us a girl was raped. And because we were already doing activities there, we went there. And then it was like 2 days after. We asked them, okay, follow up, take her to the hospital and all that. And they told us they could not find the man.
They could not find the man, like he moved out of that
They
neighborhood.
found him before. But between the time
trying
they
to
found the
cover up for
man
him,
and when we got there, they could no longer find the man. And I'm asking, that man does not have a house.
He does.
He has a family.
He does.
If it was something else, I trust my people.
They would fetch him out.
Nigeria is the country where if you don't catch the child, you carry the mother. And they will tell you that if the child, when the child found out they've carried the mother,
he will show up.
That's wrong.
Wow.
But I'm saying like you can do that to cases that are very trivial. And then a girl is being raped, that her eye, she had to do surgery for her eye. It wasn't a small matter.
I don't get it. What happened to her eye?
During the old struggle, the man eats a broken bottle on her eye. And you are telling me you can't find the man.
And it's the same man that is now missing. Sorry, how did you end this case?
We cannot find the man.
And in all honesty, the man is no longer in that neighborhood.
The importance and the power that traditional leaders hold. And that's why you cannot waive.
We'll continue that discussion, that particular topic after the show. Danladi, just to add to what she has said, your experience in the rural environment, when you go there to give this, help. Like she just concluded, for me now, most of these cases go untreated. Yeah. Most of these cases go under the carpet, swept under the carpet, just so that they can settle this matter within their locality. So what do you have to contribute to what Faithful said?
Thank you. So one of the things I want to say before I comment on that is that in the communities, we don't advocate for them to change their cultural beliefs.
Yeah.
What we do is that we now discuss with them to see that those cultures that affect women. Those cultures that are harmful to women and girls are being reviewed so that women and girls, because most of those cultures, they are targeting women and girls and they are the ones that are being affected. Yeah, so one of the things is that in communities, there are a lot of issues, a lot of cases coming out, and then some of them, the community people are trying, the stakeholders in the community are trying, and even though some of them, like just what she said, we had one similar issue. The parent of the survivor, that's the victim, is a visitor from Kano in one of our communities in Nasarawa. So because of the pressure, the parents were supportive. After the rape, we took the victim to the hospital. She get the necessary medical attention. The perpetrator was arrested, and then he was in the police custody. The pressure was too much on them because they are not from that community. Because of that pressure, the next thing is after a week, they are nowhere to be found. Wow. They pack. And then they left after the community.
And nobody could in
I
a
mean,
way,
the parents or the parents.
Okay, the survivor are now the people are ashamed and being subjected
yes,
to.
I mean, the pressure is too much from the community that they should
now take
off
away
so that
from
they
the
come
case.
and treat it in the communal way.
Okay,
and
no, by moving out, did they still pursue the matter?
When they move out, so the issue is that after some time, that they need the survivor to be in court. You understand? She needs to be in court, but the survivor is nowhere to be found because her parents are no more in the community.
Wow.
So that's one of the things. So there are a lot of things happening,
wow.
even though sensitization and awareness is making people to come out and is breaking the culture of silence. Now, the other fear is that the fear from the legal system, the delay of cases, and also victim blaming. But it's only in rape case that the accused,
because
the victim become the accused. Yeah, it's only in rape case the victim become the accused. In the sense that there's one of our case that a 16-year-old girl was raped. When we get to the police station, one of the police woman was asking the girl, "Are you a virgin?"
Are you kidding me?
You understand? Are you a virgin? So, like this kind of case, what does virginity has to do with the case in question?
Was raped or not?
You understand? So the issue is that some of this victim blaming and shaming is making people
to remain in silence,
discouraged. And even sometimes they are the one giving perpetrators the tips on how to
escape
and then other things. So the issue is that the people in the community are trying to break that culture of silence. They are reporting. So now, what we need to do now is more sensitization and also more serious and then immediate and prompt action towards responding cases once it's being reported.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's quickly take a commercial and then we'll be right back.
Provides disinfecting services, fumigation, decontamination, sanitizing, extermination, and general cleaning services. We use hospital-grade chemicals with electric and electrostatic tools to help you create a safer environment for your customers and employees. These commercial fumigation services are used in homes, hospitals, schools, churches, mosques, manufacturing facilities, warehouses, offices, farms, schools, clubhouses, restaurants and bars, and other businesses. Professional disinfection and pest control services are ideal for high-traffic businesses. It is ideal for us all to keep safe. Let us protect your house, office, factories, religious houses, schools, and hotels against coronavirus and other pathogens. To book our services, call Victoria on 0907 193 8680. Brixton Fumigation and Pest Control Services. We are friendly with pests and viruses.
Online, what does that do for them? Okay, to get help.
We have the online you can call for free. You can send SMS.
Alright, no problem. Thanks for staying with us. In case you're just joining the show, the Show is Unbroken on 107.7 FM right here on the top hill of the Mogadishu Cantonment. Unbroken is a human rights radio show dedicated to fight against gender-based violence, child abuse, human trafficking, and also create and promote consumers' rights and consumers' protection. The show enjoys collaboration with National Human Rights Commission, NAPTIP, First Gender Unit of the Nigerian Police Force, FCCPC, and also Education as a Vaccine. And my guest this evening is Usman Danladi and also Faithful Fabi, both from Education as a Vaccine is a non-governmental organization working with victims on domestic violence. So right about now, I'm going to throw the phone lines open. Call us if you have any issues you would want us to help you out with, or you want to contribute or ask questions. Please do feel free to call us on 0907 193 8680. 0907 193 8680 or 0818 727 4284 or 0818 727 4284. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Good evening. Are you there? Okay, sorry, we lost that call. Please, if you are still trying to call us, the number to call is 0907 193 8680. So, I'm Faithful. How can people benefit from your programs?
Okay, so Education as a Vaccine has, we go to communities to sensitize people. However, in this digital age where everything is going we have a hotline that people can call to ask any question, and the hotline is free. That means if you don't have credit, you can call and then the call will still go. While for SMS, you can also send, because some people, they are not able to talk for a while. They don't want to quickly send the message. If you are in distress, you can also send SMS.
Okay, please announce the number.
Okay, so our SMS number is 38120. Just 5 digits, 38120. Where the hotline that is free for all network is 0800 69 783 784 66. It's longer than the normal numbers because it's toll free.
So that's a number to call if you're in distress. You can talk, but you just need to quickly send an SMS to get help, please. The number Faithful called a while ago is the number to call. So to call right into the show right about now to contribute, ask questions, or suggest anything to us, please. The number to call right now is 0907 193 8680. 0907 193 8680 or 0818 727 4284. So, Danladi, violence against women and girls can be classified into physical, economic, sexual, and psychological violence. We can say that economic violence has been one of the factors that has kept many women. Let's see if we can take this call. Okay, the call dropped. So we can say that economic factors has been one of the factors that has kept many women in abusive relationships. Do you have programs to cater for women in these categories, like skill acquisition, empowerment program?
Yeah, thank you very much. So economic violence is one of the kinds of violence that is affecting our women in towns and villages and communities. So what we do is that we try to empower women so that they can be financially independent and they will be able to contribute to their family and also to themselves. So what we do is that after building their capacity, trying to make them understand their rights, we also build their capacity on life skills. After the life skills, we also run skill acquisition programs for them so that they were able to learn trade of their choice. So after successfully graduating, we now try to link them to some SMEs.
Really?
And then also give them a bit of startup capital so that they'll be able to start and then get something for their self.
Wow.
Yes. So some of these projects we conducted, some of them in Nasarawa, some in Kaduna, some are still running presently in Kaduna.
Do you run anyone currently in Abuja or about to run anytime
Yeah, so
soon?
some times back we implemented some project in Kwali.
Okay.
Yeah, Kwali and then Kuje Area Council, whereby women going through skill acquisition, and then they form cooperative societies. Even some of them presently they are the cooperative society is active, and even apart from medication as a vaccine, they also look for funds from other organizations and SMEs, because it's easier when you have a cooperative society looking for support than individual people looking for support. So it's easier. There are some kind of funds from government and private organizations that they utilize using their cooperative societies.
Thank you, Danladi. Do Education as a Vaccine have any running collaboration with any government agencies?
Yeah, so because of the work we do is a very sensitive working around area of gender-based violence. So it's an area that organization alone and communities alone cannot do it. So we need the support of government and other CSOs.
Okay.
So we work with the government at all levels, from the area council, FCT administration, and even at the federal level, and also at state. We work with Department of Social Welfare. We work with Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Justice, Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA. So we collaborate. We work with the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Securities, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. So because they are the security outfit that prosecute cases of rape when it happens from communities and families. So that collaboration, is helping us, and we still need more collaboration. We still need more hands to be able to save our communities. Because cases coming out from communities, they need support. From the government, they need support from the CSOs, so that they'll be able to push. And once when the community report case, and that case is handled immediately, they are seeing the way the case is being handled with high level of seriousness, and they are seeing perpetrators are being arrested. Like not like before, when a perpetrator is arrested today, the next day you see him in the community. You understand? So, but when perpetrators are arrested, they are taken to prison. Other people from the community will now come back to their senses. They learn from the hard way. So I think that collaboration is good. We have collaboration, but we still need more hands to join in the area of fighting against violence, gender-based violence, and violence against men and girls.
Thank you, Danladi. Abuja, the number to call is 0907 193 8680. 0907 193 8680 or 0818 727 4284. Please keep your calls coming in. I don't know what's wrong with this box, but I believe you'll be able to take one or two calls before the show rounded up. So how do Education as a Vaccine, go about creating awareness and also reporting GBV cases?
Yeah, so what we do is that after creating the structures from the community, that's one of the important things. After creating the structure of the community, we now create awareness by using those structures, those stakeholders in the community to carry out sensitization. They conduct sensitization, they conduct campaigns, rallies, they use dramas in the community as a form of education. They are educating by using entertainment. They conduct drama, sport activities. We also conduct community dialogues, whereby, just as what Faithful say, we conduct community dialogues separate with women, separate with boys, with girls, separate with traditional leaders and community leaders. And after that, we also carry that kind of community dialogues together. You know, we now discuss so that we'll be able to have that safe space. You know, only with women, they will be able to pour out their issues, you know, what is happening in the community. Then after that, we'll come back and now discuss from the community, entire community. So those are the strategies we use to carry out sensitization. And also we support them, the stakeholders, to go out to their community and talk to their people. Because it's their people, they know the language they will use for them to understand. They know what are the information that they can use to pass that information. So we do that. We do it for ourselves. Then the community, trained community stakeholders, they also carry out those sensitization so that we'll be able to pass the message to the people. Yes. So then after creating the awareness, from there they will start reporting cases. So once they report case, you know, we try to support the structures from the community to be able to be responding the case. And then, you know, we have linked them to the stakeholders at the local government, at the area council, at the state. So we now monitor, we follow up to make sure that those cases that are reported are being handled amicably.
Thank you. Faithful, from these cases you have handled so far, how do you advise parents in those communities to also be on the watch out? Because now they've made this thing to be their fault, and it's not their fault in the real sense. But what should parents do to help their children, protect their children? Have you, been able to pass out these information to these women in communities you've worked with?
So in some cases, not all, you find out that in the case where a girl is being raped, it wasn't the first sign. Maybe she was touched on her butt, and then she didn't have someone to talk to. So we encourage that parents should be friends with their children, so that any slight discomfort that the girl feels on the street, anybody that is looking at her in some kind of way, she can come home and say, "Mommy, I don't like the way Uncle so is looking at me. Mommy, I don't like the way this uncle touched me." They were also the people in the community were advising themselves and were saying things like, "Don't send your child out in the night to go and collect something."
True.
If you're telling your child to walk, advise your child, "Okay, don't go here, go here, go here, go here." A woman stood up that day to say that she tell a child ox for her plantain. How expensive plantain is these days. That a child ox plantain for her. But she said that on no occasion should you enter somebody's house to collect change. That it's better the girl comes back home with without the plantain money than to say somebody said I should come inside to come and collect the money or something. So the fact that parents should be able to talk to their children so that, because you won't be there all the time.
True.
And whatever happens, the child should be able to come back home immediately to say, "Mommy, Daddy, this and this happened
to me." Thank you so much, my dear. Your final thoughts on the show before we round up, Danladi?
Yeah, so violence against women and girls is something that is happening and then it's underreported because of the culture of silence. So we need to create more awareness and then it's everybody's responsibilities. Because if it happens to someone's child today, it may happen to your child tomorrow. So it's everybody's responsibility. Let's put hands together to break the culture of silence. And also for parents, one thing is that they should tell their children they should be able to know their part.
Thank you so much.
They should know penis is penis, vagina is vagina.
True.
Don't say that thing, this thing, those things. Those are one of the issues that is misleading our children.
Yeah, thank you. That's important. Say it the way it is. Let them know what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Faithful, your final
let me
thoughts.
just give an example to buttress what Usman is saying. There was a case where the girl was continually being raped, but what her parents told her was, "Don't allow uncle to touch you. Don't allow somebody to touch you." So she was like, he wasn't touching her with his hand. He was doing something else. And then when you talk about sex education, you think a child should be 10 or 12 before you have that conversation. You have to start
right from the time they can understand certain things.
yes, and that way the child is being empowered but for themselves, so that wherever they are they can defend themselves to an extent. They can say no, don't touch me, like that. That child is aware. They are different. It's different from when a child is just doing, not saying anything.
Thank you so much, guys. Faithful, Fabi Faithful, and Usman Danladi. The two of them are from Education as a Vaccine, a non-governmental organization that partners also with us on this show. Thank you so much, guys, for being part of today's episode, and we'll surely hang out with you again anytime soon. I want to sincerely apologize to as many of you that tried to call us in. Indeed, we cannot explain what happened to our lines this evening, but we pray and also expect that before the next show, whatever it is with the telephone line would have been sorted out. Thank you so much for all the support you give to us on this show, and this is all we can take on this show for this episode. On behalf of myself and my entire crew, I say a very big thank you for joining me every Friday 8 p.m. on this show. Unbroken is the show, and it runs here 8 p.m. Fridays, every Fridays of the week. So join me again next time, same time right here on the station, on another episode of Unbroken. I say, till I come your way again next time, stay blessed and good evening. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We couldn't because I don't know what happened though.